give me just 2 seconds while I'm getting that one. Do you mind if I
Which way you want me?
right in that chair? Can we finalize that one other interview real quick? Sure. 1 minute, Mr. Watts?
Yeah.
Is that all right? Be right back. Do you need anything to drink?
Got some water.
Okay, I'll get some water.
Okay. So how you doing?
Little stretched out and stuff.
I totally understand.
So, I didn't understand what happened or what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like I was telling
Grant?
Grant,
Yeah.
she's a very controlling woman as far as that. And my wife says she's a narcissist from what she got.
Well, you know, if I could put you up one second, just ask you a couple basic questions, just your name and all that information, so I can take notes.
Ronnie
Watts,
W-A-T-T-S.
W-A-T-T-S. Okay. So your date of birth?
1456.
1456. Okay, and you're out of state, right? You came
Yeah, I
out
live
there.
in North Carolina. Well, I live in Spring Lake, North Carolina.
Spring Lake. Okay, what's the address there?
1107 Vass, V-A-S-S Road.
V-A-S-S?
Yeah.
Road?
Yeah, Spring Lake.
Spring Lake.
28390, you got
28390. Okay, and a good contact number, please, sir?
910-578-3408.
3408. Okay, that's a cell?
Yeah.
All right. And then, and obviously Chris is your son?
Yeah.
Okay.
One boy, one girl.
All right. And so you just flew out here today?
This morning.
Okay. All right. And if you could, maybe you could just start with what happened, how you became aware that there's a situation.
Chris had called me, let's see, get the days right, today's Wednesday, right?
Yes, sir.
This was, happened Monday. He called me and he said, did they have something going on, what's going on?
Do you remember what day that was?
And it was Monday.
Monday?
Do
you know approximately what time?
It was about the time when I got home from work, it was around 6:30 my time, so then about 4:30 out here, probably something like that.
Okay. 4:30.
Well, if my memory serves me right, I'm trying to keep the days straight right now.
Yeah, no, and it just as best as you recall.
Yeah.
So, okay, so about that time you gave your call, I said, something's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did he tell you about that?
He said, Chanel and the girls are missing, or gone, is what he told me. They're missing, they're gone, he don't know where they're at. He said she left her phone, her purse, her car. He says he has no clue what the hell she's run off with the kids or what the hell's going on. He was dumbfounded about it, more or less. And he told me the situation, what happened, that the other girl, he told me what happened that morning, that they had a discussion, because she already knew this was coming, that he wanted to get a separation and put the house up for sale. And he said the marriage just wasn't working any longer.
Were you aware of that prior to this phone call?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you knew they were married?
Yeah. And he told me about a couple weeks prior to that, when he come down to she'd come down from North Carolina for 6 weeks. And staying some with us, some with her parents. Her parents live about 30, 40 miles from us.
Also, were they originally living in North Carolina before they moved out here to Colorado?
You come up.
I'm talking about Chris and, how do I say, Shannon?
Yeah. They, met, actually, a friend of ours introduced them. That's what, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was. And Chris left home at 18 when he graduated. He moved to Charlotte. He went to NASCAR Tech, and he worked at a Ford dealership for a few years. And then him and Shannon moved in together out there, and then they decided to move to Colorado, not here. Now she's had friends up here for some reason. I don't know how to move all out here, but anyway, that's what they did.
And then, how old were they when they met, or how long ago was that?
7, 8 years ago.
7 or 8?
Mm-hmm.
And how old is Chris? I'm not even sure the age is.
His birthday is May 16th, 17th. My anniversary is one day, his birthday's in May. It's 16th or 17th. And it's 1985. It's 33.
Okay. So they met about 7 or 8 years ago in North Carolina,
yeah.
And they moved out. Do you remember when they moved out here?
That I couldn't tell you. I don't know exactly when that was.
Okay. Just a background information,
Yeah.
but, okay. So they moved on out here to Colorado. Did they have children while they were in North Carolina, or did they have one here? And it's 2 children, right?
Yeah,
And then
one got one CC and one on the way.
So when was that visit? You said it was about, she was in North Carolina for about 6 weeks visiting her family?
That was, okay, they flew, get a calendar in there.
I know. I know about that.
Let's see.
It was handy to have a...
I'm trying to remember all the dates and stuff around about, so they just flew back, because she went to the Lavelle thing in Arizona. I think it was.
You think it's July? This weekend?
I wouldn't mind what's the day's date, they was good.
Today is the 15th. I'm sorry, I got all sorts of stuff that was coming.
So she went to what was it? But they flew back here, April 9th, I think.
Oh, so this was recent, they just got back from North Carolina?
Yeah.
And it was the whole family?
Yeah, but she stayed out there 6 weeks. Chris came down for the last week.
Okay.
He come down there, which I got to see him one time when he was down there, because she refused to let us see the kids.
Yeah.
Because her and my wife had fallen out.
Okay.
Twice.
Okay. So for this week, they were both there?
Yeah,
That was good.
yeah. So they were, well, we went on vacation. Me and my son-in-law and my other 2 grandkids, my wife stuff went to Myrtle Beach, and they were in North Myrtle Beach at the same time, and it was like 5 miles apart. But we still couldn't see the grandkids.
Yeah, so I definitely want to hear about that, some of the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
But you think they came back to Colorado the 9th to the 10th?
Somewhere, because she flew out, went to Arizona for the Lavelle conference thing, and little getaway things they go on, which, if I'm not mistaken, she went out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and flew back Monday morning, early in the morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning, I think.
Came back here on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, so she went from North Carolina to the conference in...
No, they came back here first.
Oh, they came back here?
First, yeah.
And then she turned around.
Yeah, then she turned around, she went back here maybe 2 days, or 1 day I think it was, and she turned around and flew back.
Okay.
Well, hang on, I might be able to tell you.
Okay.
My phone ain't good yet.
Oh, that conference you went to, was that in Las Vegas?
No, it was in Arizona. And
Arizona.
I can pull up some of her stuff still on her Facebook, some I can't, I think I'm on those blocked. Must have poor Wi-Fi in there.
Oh, and I forgot to ask, but the girls were with them, right, when they visited in North Carolina? The two that they were with. Okay.
she was down, as I said, it was, she had the dates on here, whatever, on her Facebook thing, but I can't get into it now.
That's okay. That's okay.
But she was down for 6 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and Chris come down the last week, which was, I can't give you the exact dates on it. Well, usually on the beach. Okay, this is, we haven't talked to her since that blowout, the second week she was there, or second weekend she stayed with us. And she sent this text to us. I got the freaking date on it, Thursday. This one added, okay, when they got back here, they did the sonogram for the baby. Okay, we have not talked to her from the time that, I'll tell you about the little story about the little falling out they had. She sent this picture of the sonogram to me at 8 o'clock in the morning my time, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning here. No comment or nothing on it, no, nothing. 11:30, well, okay, the time changed, okay, then at 1:30 that afternoon, she texted back, wanted to share the picture of the new baby. And she's reaching out, so that's when Chris, I think, originally told her that he went into separation and stuff. That was, I'm not sure exactly when he told her, I think more or less told her, because he told me when he was down for the visit, but he was down, he said, those 4 or 5 weeks he was here by himself, he said, I felt this alone then as I did when she was here. He said, there's no, she don't love her anymore.
And was that the first time, or were you aware of prior marital problems? Prior to that?
I could sense something was going on because, you know, it just wasn't all lovey-dovey like it used to be. And anytime we come visit them, we come here a couple times a year, and we FaceTime with them and stuff, she's sitting there on her ass on the phone, doing her little stuff. Chris is running around, taking care of kids, feeding the kids, doing this, doing that, and then she keeps us in, but not doing anything with the kids, taking care of the kids. I said, Chris, every time I see you, I said, you're doing everything with the kids, giving them class, feeding them, doing everything with them. He loves them kids to death. But he didn't do anything to hurt one of the kids. Nothing. Or neither one. But,
and was it something that would, from what you were seeing or what Chris had said to you, did it seem like it was serious marital problems, you know, prior to this visit back to North Carolina?
I won't say it was serious. It was just something that's been going on and on. He said I should have done this a long time ago. And just like the baby now they're having, she was telling us when she was down here to visit, it was Chris's idea, 80-20, to have another baby because he wanted a boy. And I mentioned that to him when he come down. That one afternoon I got to see him, he said it wasn't him, it was all her, I wanted another child. And I said, she flips everything around on that type deal. I ain't trying to put her down or nothing, but I was just telling you, like, kind of person she is, everything's about her. She has this persona that she wants, this image she wants out there all the time, or what, everything's hunky-dory, everything's beautiful in the world and stuff, when it's not. Like Chris always said, everything she has on Facebook is a mask. It's just to put on.
Is it all very positive? And
everything that she tries to put out there, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what she does.
What was the company that she works for? Is it makeup or something?
It's a veil, it's called, the company's a veil, but it's called Thrive. It's a nutrition thing, patches and pills and nutrition shakes and all that stuff. And it's come out with new weight loss packs and stuff.
Okay. And was that like a part-time job that she had?
That's all she did.
That's all she did, full-time?
I mean, she had, before she got into this, doing 2 or 3 other jobs, like little department stores around here and stuff. Actually, she was, years ago, when it was here, when he worked at the Ford dealership, before he got to the old business, she got there and started selling cars, didn't she? She's doing damn good.
Yeah.
And she's a salesperson, believe me. See, that's what her knack is.
And is that what she does for Thrive? She's a salesperson.
She has a pyramid type thing. She has all these different people under her, and what they sell, she makes, money on what they sell.
Gotcha.
So it's a team thing, and I think she was like 34th or 35th in the company.
Oh, so she's pretty good at it.
And I actually asked Chris, I told him, I said, if y'all do decide to separate or whatever, she can come back to North Carolina, or you want to stay out here, and he said, no, the child support I'd have to pay, so I'd have to stay out there. So I can't make that kind of money back there, because it makes good money. I told him, mind me asking what does she make? He said she makes pretty much what I make.
Oh.
So make money.
And I think somebody told me the other day, so he's a supervisor for?
He's coming up for a former job,
Former job? At Anadarko?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they're looking at him for now.
Now, I know the oil money pays pretty well.
Yeah.
Do you know about what that is? What kind of salary?
I never asked him. I don't want to get into that. I don't know what they are.
No, sure, and I'm curious because if she makes what he makes.
Yeah, I mean, she just started doing this last few years, and I don't know what she made before.
Mm-hmm.
But she's making good money now.
Do you know, did they have any financial problems? Was there any kind of, was that part of the marital strife?
Not that I know of, but he said he don't see a reason they have to live in that big ass house they live in, because they don't need that kind of, as far as them, it was them two kids, they didn't need that, $300,000 house sitting out there. He said sometimes it was struggle, making sure you make that money, making that big house payment. I said, that's part of life, everybody goes through that.
Sure. But as far as you know, now, nothing major.
No, he never called last week for my money.
He can say, they'd be like, hey, I'm a real bad dad, or she's a real bad dad.
Sometimes when Cece was born, they even paid for my wife's flight to come out here, when she was being born and everything, got watch after kids, and when they go on some of their LaVelle trips, sometimes he went, sometimes he didn't, depending on what time he get on. My wife would come out here, well, I'd come out here too, and watch the kids while she was gone. Stuff like that.
So normal, everybody's got their bills and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell another little story. I was telling another guy when she come down for a visit, 6 weeks she was down there. Like I said, she was staying like 3 or 4 days with us, 3 or 4 days with her parents. And every time, I go back from the very beginning when I first met her, something was just a little different about her. I was telling him they had come down from other grandkids' birthday party from Charlotte, and they had bought these Power Ranger costumes to wear. That's what was in back then. That was years ago. And they forgot the head mask, the head thing. And that morning at the party, she sent them all the way back to Charlotte. It was a 3-hour drive from where we was at, back to Charlotte, and 3 hours back to get the mask. And just to prove my point more or less, whatever. Anyway, that was just something myself and that boy, I said, the mask thing, to wear 15, 20 minutes, they're going to take the damn thing off anyway, and just start playing with kids, and then it's a big deal. But when she come down this last time, she'll stay like 3 or 4 days with us. Like first 3 or 4 days, everything's fine. I mean, everybody's getting along good, having a good time. I can show you a video here of the grandkids with my wife and stuff. Videos. Is it? Play on that. That's my wife.
4 chili monkeys jumping on the back. What's the walk and buck
I remember doing that like this. I let that happen. I didn't have to flash it on week.
And so everything was good at the beginning of the trip?
Yeah, well, I mean, every time she'd come over, it was just a matter of time for something would blow up. The 3rd or 4th day, whatever, the first time she came over, my next door neighbor had passed away, And that was the day that she was gonna go back to Southern Pines. And my wife said, well, I gotta get my hair done, gotta go pick up the flowers from my neighbor. And she come by where I work at a silver dealership, that's not, to sign some paper on the car I was getting. She was by. Said, we're gonna take you back now or wait this afternoon. So I'll just wait. Said, it's gonna be gone a while, it's gonna take a while to go. I said, okay, no problem. So she went and got her hair done, went and got flowers, come by my place and realized she left her phone at the hairdresser. So my daughter, she's in her hair done too, she went and got up and came back to my work, and we was up in the finance office signing the paperwork. She then texted me, she said, where in the hell is Cindy at? So I've been alone here with these kids for 5 hours. I said, dude, your kids. I went and bought a trampoline for them, a swimming pool, this little boat pool and stuff, and another TV for another room with a bigger TV so they could watch and everything. And I said, well, she had my wife in tears in the finance office. That's how bad she jumped in my wife's text. And I said, let's go sign for that. And then she said, I'll be there in a minute. That's all right, I got my dad to come and get me. She's getting here, as soon as I get the car seats, I'll ride his truck. So she left mad that day. And Chris called was that night and said, my wife asked him, I said, what are you going to do? For some reason I cannot get along with her. He said, Mom, just let it go. And I said, that's just the way she is sometimes, just let it go. I said, okay, I'll do it for you. All right, second time she come over. We had fun, we had all kinds of videos and pictures of them in the pool. My other 2 grandkids come over. Bella and Cece, that's Shanann's kids, they're 4 and 3. My other 2 grandkids are 10 and 7. The top of them down. That's their tattoo right there. The double D's. I'll get on this side for them. They were finished how many kids you have. But they come over and Cece's got a nut allergy, which we knew about. And my wife had bought some ice cream, which actually one of them had nuts in it, but we had it up on the upper shelf, which Cece couldn't get to it. She got in the refrigerator freezer. And my other granddaughter, Dylan, had a little single serving ice cream cups, a little small thing, just like you buy at Walmart or whatever. And it was in the bottom row, and she went there and got one. My other granddaughter. And Cece got upset because she couldn't have one, and Cindy said, well, honey, you can't have that. That one might have nuts in it. We haven't checked it yet. Whatever. So you can't have it. And Shanann went off on her. Said it's not fair she can have one and my child can have it and all that type of stuff. You know, I said, well, maybe it's a learning experience on which you do not learn. Sometimes you can't have everything she wants. And so a few minutes later, she come down there and said, you just trying to kill my child. Screaming at my wife. And I wasn't there, but this is about two other grandkids that she didn't know what the hell was that. And so he said, you actually think I would try to hurt one of your children? And she said, you just trying to kill my child. And Cindy said, well, I think you just need to go and leave. And she said, well, I'm not coming back. And that was the second visit. Her daddy let them get her. And for the rest of 4 or 5 weeks, that was the part of the second week, the next 4 weeks. No contact with her, the 2 grandkids, one of those 2 grandkids. They're 30 miles away. And we planned on going down to the beach with them and everything else, and they took out at my daughter's house and everything. All that got blown out. And when we did go to the beach, we was at Myrtle Beach, and we was at Norfolk Beach, 5 miles apart, still couldn't see them. And I said, well, okay, that's good. And I'm finished. Then there's no scenario that's like the same time was going on. Well, my mother's in a rehab center, she's like 93 years old, and then Dad went up there and see her on her birthday, and then we went to have a birthday party with her. And when they got back from the beach, I think it was on a Monday, they went to see her, and Chris told me, said that he wanted to come see us before he left, because he hadn't even seen us the whole week he'd been down there. He'd been with them. So I went and picked them up, and at the rehab center, where my mother was staying at, and Shannon and all them already left. They left them there for me to go pick up. So, you know, out in the house, had a couple beers, go down some steaks and stuff. My daughter come over, and my son-in-law, my other grandkids come over and stuff. And about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I said, well, we'll just text her, just bring her back in the morning. You know, it's too late for me when I was back at something piles now. He texted her, no, you know, I was just like, I was going to get your ass right now. You ain't staying there. So, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I had to take him back to Southern Pines. because she demanded it has to be back there. She said, I need the help getting stuff ready to go back on the trip. And this was only 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. What are you going to do that night that you can't do the next morning when a flight don't leave at 7 o'clock that night, the next night?
Well, so the question I was just gonna ask is, so when she went back to her parents' house, did Chris stay with you guys? Or did he go with her back to that?
No, the only time Chris was down there was last week.
Oh, so this was prior to that?
Yeah.
Prior to last
Yeah,
week?
that was the last week, which we said, well, we lost our son again, because the whole time that, when that last thing happened, we didn't have no contact with either one of them for the next, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it was, till he come down.
And then when he came down, did they come visit again at your house?
No, she wouldn't come down. She wouldn't let the kids in our house.
And did Chris stay with you guys for that week?
No.
Or he went there?
He went to stay with her parents.
Okay.
So that's what she wanted.
Yeah. So do you think that she has a controlling personality?
Very, very
controlling. Okay.
But my wife said she's like a narcissist, and something else she called her. She got, I can't remember what the other name was she uses sometimes. That's what she says, she has a narcissist personality, what she said. Sometimes I think she's bipolar. He says she goes from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. I mean, just totally.
Would you say she's volatile, or she can get angry quickly?
Well, I haven't never seen that side of her, but every time I see my wife, my wife said she was screaming at her.
Screaming?
And I said, you trying to kill my dad, Carl? I said, my dad. I said, you actually believe that? He said, no, you see the videos of them, I mean, she loves the kids. She never do that for one kid.
Okay. Did you ever see her and Chris fighting? They ever yelling and screaming at each other, or no? Okay.
Anytime we visited or FaceTime, that's the first time they've been out in North Carolina in years.
Mm-hmm.
Come up here, it's a lot cheaper for us to come up here than all of them to come down here.
Sure. Any indication of violence between them? Anybody, did she ever hit him? Did he ever hit her? Any kind of, anywhere it got physical?
I've never known Chris to be physical at all, besides when he played football back when he was in the Pee Wee League. He was middle linebacker back then.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so when he comes and he visits, he winds up staying up with them, and you guys don't see each other for that last week, but do you see Chris?
This is just that last night before they left.
Last night. Okay. Does he come with the kids, or just by himself?
Just by himself. So she won't let the kids come over, and that's when they said they went to see my mother, which is in a rehab center, which is like 7 or 8 miles from my house. Because he said he wanted to see us, he knew we left. But he ain't got to see us whole that time, the whole week down there.
Gotcha. So then, do they fly back to Colorado together?
Yeah.
And do you think that's around the 9th or 10th, something like that?
Somewhere in that neighborhood, because she flew out, because I think he went back to work on that Wednesday and Thursday. No, I think she flew out on Friday, if I'm mistaken.
Okay.
And come back that Monday, like 1 or 2 o'clock morning, I think, when her flight come back.
Okay. And then when they come back here, you think she's here for a day or two, and then she goes on that trip to Arizona?
Yeah.
And she didn't take the kids with her on that trip?
Right, she'll never take kids with her.
Never took. And then, so Chris, be working, is there a babysitter or somebody else? Do you have
Down there in the daycare.
Daycare?
So, like you said, I think she takes them there about 7:30 o'clock in the morning. He picks them up on the way home from work. So she really don't have much of that.
Okay. She drops them off, and then he typically picks them up?
Picks them up on his way home.
Okay.
I guess probably sometimes she picks them up too, I reckon, but most times when he picks them up. I'm not saying that's the way the routine is all the time, I just know that's.
Yeah.
That's basically how it works.
Sure. And we're trying to go over every detail of everything that they do, and just see what the routine is, so, okay. All right, so she picks up. And then, you know what hours he works typically at the,
I think he said, he goes in about 5:30 in the morning. And most times, when we FaceTime at our house, it's between 6, 7, so it's around 5 something he gets home, I think.
And he's working long days.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think between 4 or 5 do, I mean, size he has to do that day. time they eat dinner, that's when the kids are sitting there going through something like this.
And so when they got back, and then from the time they got back to Colorado, did you speak to him at all during that time? Or did you speak to him that first time on Monday, when he called him to say?
I don't remember having talked to him since then. I probably leaving, probably on the phone, but probably had somebody on there, probably leaving alone.
Yeah, it could be text messages, phone call.
I'm pretty sure I did, because he had told us before he left, that day he did come over and he said, yeah, he said it's not working. He said, I don't love her anymore. He said, it's just not there. He said, he loves the kids to death, but he said, he was just done with her.
So he knew that by the time he was about to leave to go back to Colorado.
And she knew it too.
She knew it too.
She knew it. He already told her about it.
So had they,
He said it was going to, he said Colorado's on the 50-50 state or whatever, as far as husband and wife, he said, if I'm mistaken, he said that she was the one that put the house on the market already. So he said,
was the house for sale?
He said he was going to go ahead and sell it. I think he said he wanted to go ahead and get a separation, put the house up for sale.
Okay.
And I don't know who told me that deal. Well, of course, Chris said the one thing don't sell it, the house market around here anyway. I don't remember who told me that she went ahead and put it on the market.
Okay.
Yeah, we go for Chris ain't got time. I think the time hours he works and stuff, he ain't got time to watch it.
We'll figure that out. But so they pretty much, and so she knew too. She wanted divorce as well, and the separation with
I
that.
don't know how that was working, but that takes us when she sent the picture of the sonogram, and that was about the same time Chris told her, he said, it ain't working. And that's when she was trying to get back in our lives. Come to make up for all the shit she's done, I guess, over the years, whatever, I don't know. Like, that was a reach out to us, more or less the way I look at it, trying to make everything all hunky-dory now again. Maybe she was thinking maybe Chris would change his mind or something or whatever, and she could talk him out of it or whatever. I don't know what her point behind that was. But that's when, I'm pretty sure that's where that text come from, when he told her that he wanted a separation.
And then what was the date on that again? The text?
It was, that's what I'm trying to find, but the date's not on there. Oh, it says on Thursday. I think that was when they got back to Colorado. So yeah, she said she got sonogram when she got back from Colorado. Because I was going to do it.
Let's see, so that would have been
Last Thursday.
last Thursday, the 8th, I think.
I don't think so.
Okay, today's the 15th. Yeah, it would have been the 8th.
That's when I think she was trying to reach out, wanted to share something, a picture of the baby. I talked to you in 5 weeks now, so 6 weeks now, all of a sudden you want to talk?
All right. So, and then had he decided, had Chris decided, 100%, was it something like where he was saying, thinking about a separation?
I
Yeah.
don't think so, because, he pretty much made up his mind.
A tough situation.
It wasn't working, he didn't see it getting any better.
Okay. And then has she ever, disappeared before? Has she ever, said, I'm taking the kids and going to a friend's house, or said, I'm going to go stay at my friend's house by myself for the night? You aware of anything like that?
I'm not aware of it.
Okay. And then how about him? Has it ever got bad where he's like, hey, I'm just going to go spend the night someplace else, or I got to get away from you guys, go to a hotel?
I'm not aware of it.
Nothing like that. Okay. All right. So they've never had a situation in the house where one of them had to leave?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And then as far as police, ever mentioned, Chris ever mentioned police coming to the house, domestic violence, any kind of, nothing? All right, so it's never gotten that bad?
No.
But they just, for whatever reason.
He didn't love her anymore. It just wasn't working.
Okay.
It's like the thing about the new baby here, so my wife was telling me, they said, She was pregnant, said you might just have to tough it out, and then go have the baby and help her out with that. So, but like I said, she said it was his idea, he said told her it was her idea on another child.
And then any, anything on either side where, they're fighting about how that would work? If they do separate, who's gonna stay in the house, who's gonna have to move out, or,
Well, like I said, they said that more or less, it was a 50-50 state that's gonna sell the house, and more or less, they pay child support, and do their separate life, and, I don't know, it's still up in the air about, visitation and all that, they ain't got that far yet. He just told them, he wanted to go and file for separation, I don't think, was it 90 days, or 90, what was it? And thought about it. I don't know, I don't know, I think it's a year.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, actually,
I'm
so,
not sure.
I don't know what the state law is on that.
It's either 90 days or 9 months, I'm not sure which one it is, something like that. Chris had told me about what it was.
Okay.
But, he more or less, that it wasn't gonna work, he didn't see it was gonna be changing anything, go back to, and he said, when he come down, when she was in North Carolina, when he come down, she said, Chris, will you change? I said, no, he said, I haven't changed, I just realized I'm just alone at the house when you're there and you're not there. And I said, there's no difference. So that's more or less how you broke it down.
Okay. And then when he called you on Monday to let you know that something's wrong, don't know where they are and all the things, so can you tell me about that? What was he thinking at that time? What was the...
Well, no, he said, I mean, he was upset, big time, upset. He said, I don't know what the hell's going on. He said, he don't know if she took the kids and left, but he said the car's here, her phone's here. He said, none of them make any damn sense there. He said, I don't know what the hell's going on. Unless he said somebody was going to pick her up. But, there's no evidence of nothing. I mean, like I said, they left her car there, and a phone, and her purse, and so he said, no, it makes a bad sense. He said, all the doors were when he got there, and I guess the police had come for a wellness check or whatever. And he said, all the damn doors were locked. So he said, if she left on her own, and went out the door, locked the door behind her. Well, the door don't have to lock anyway, but still.
And he didn't mention anything about any problem at the house or anything like that? There's nothing, there was a broken window, there was no kicked in door?
He said he didn't see nothing. I guess when the police got there, they looked around too, they didn't see anything. But he said, I asked him, so what happened earlier in the day? He said, he told me, what, that discussion, the thought they had that morning, told him to go ahead and file for separation and stuff, and everything, and he said, he was going to go ahead and go to work. She said, well, I'm going to go stay with a friend.
Oh, so she said she was going to be
Yeah, she told him, I'm going to go stay with a friend, but didn't say who.
Didn't say. Okay.
But she just got back from that trip with them two, Nicole and somebody else, I don't know what the girl's name was.
Okay.
But that's what he told her. She told him that she was going to go stay with a friend.
Any idea who that would be? Like who's closest to her?
I have no idea. She's got so many damn followers. I mean, she's got
My Facebook friends.
hundreds.
Okay.
Hundreds. I mean, and a lot of them around here. And that girl that did the wellness visits, that was one of them. They just got back from where it was Arizona, I think it was Arizona, they went to that LaBelle thing. That was, I guess she lives around here somewhere, because she's not seen her on a news broadcast for an interview in front of the house. Yes, right.
Oh, so she went on that business trip to Arizona with her? Do you know who that is? What that woman's name?
Nicole something, in Columbia. I don't know if you've seen any news feeds or what, but she was one of them that was talking to the press outside Chris's house.
Yeah, and I actually haven't seen any of that stuff yet.
That's one thing they would catch a fish, that don't.
There you go.
That's her right there.
Okay. That's Nicole. That's Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't know her last name. Is that her last name?
Yeah.
Not my glasses. What's that last name?
I don't know. UTOFT.
UTOFT. W-T-O-S-T.
That's what it is.
Okay. So that's the friend she went on the trip with to Arizona.
Well, there she is. There's another picture. Well, there's a bunch of people there, put it that way, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if we've spoken to her yet or not, but we're trying to speak to everybody.
There's some pictures of her and a whole group of other people, maybe dinners and stuff, and I can't get on to it now. I can't put a picture of it until that's on.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So, and then he spoke to you, and you think it was about 4:30, right, on Monday?
Been up for our first time, because I just got home from work, I think I was eating, so normally home around about 6:30. It's about between 4:30 and 5 here, so somewhere in that neighborhood.
And that's fine, it's all process. And so he spoke to you, essentially said, don't know where she is, nothing's missing, the house isn't broken, and nothing like that.
He said,
Just don't know where.
He said, I'm not, I have no clue what she's done. I said, the kids are gone, she's gone.
Do you know, so the kids normally, it was a Monday, so the kids normally go to daycare?
That's, I don't know, I've seen some posts sometimes where she'll take Cece the day to the school, and sometimes take Bella with her on like a afternoon playtime, take her to a park or out to eat lunch type things and stuff like that, and go back and pick up Cece later. She won't take both of them at the same time.
Okay. But did Chris mention to you whether or not the kids got to daycare, whether they were there or not?
That day, on Monday?
Yeah, on Monday?
No, that's,
Because I'm just wondering, so if they're not home well, actually, I don't know what time he gets home, but I'm just wondering if, did he mention them going to daycare?
Well, that day, I don't think they ever went because, so he called me that night, he said that girl was gone. If I'm mistaken, what he had said, that Nicole girl was supposed to hook up with Slim that day. They just got back, 2 o'clock in the morning from Arizona, where it was. And Shanann was supposed to have a doctor's appointment that day also. And she didn't show the doctor's appointment. That's when she went over there for knocked on the door, couldn't get away, answer the door. That's when she called the police for a witness check. And that's what she said on the news broadcast.
Okay. But did he mention that? Did Chris tell you that? That she had a doctor's appointment?
No.
Oh, you just saw it?
I saw him. Yeah.
Okay. I just don't want to write anything.
Oh, yeah.
Because
No.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just wondering what he had mentioned. So did he know if she made the doctor's appointment? Or that didn't even come up?
That didn't come up.
And did he know if the kids went to daycare?
Never brought it up.
Never brought it up either.
Evidently, whatever time she went over there to check on Shanann, and that's the wellness check, I guess they had to call Chris to come home and open doors and let them, look around and stuff, which he says they did, look around and didn't find nothing. And come back a few hours later with a search warrant to search the house.
Standard procedure.
Yeah. So that's basically all he told me that one night, and it seemed, it was visibly upset big time. He said he had no clue where they were at, what the hell happened. And he was full up.
Just didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was the call on Monday.
Yeah.
And then, was there another phone call? Did he call or, and actually, that was a phone call, that wasn't text or anything, or email, that was a phone call.
Yeah.
Were there any other ones between now and then, where you guys spoke on the phone, or he texted you, or emailed you, or anything like that?
Just more or less tell me what was going on about the news crew being out there and all this stuff, and then still come back looking at the house, and what was it yesterday they did? Things like yesterday did something, I forgot what it was.
But you guys, have you been in touch on a regular?
Oh, yeah.
Probably talked more than once, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay. Anything by email or text, or just all phone calls?
Most of them was phone calls, and I told them just to call me when we got a chance, people were blowing up his phone and putting plates, and then the news crews out there and all that shit, and I said, how are you surviving? I mean,
Right.
they couldn't do nothing.
They gotta be parked outside the house, I'm sure. Okay. So you talked to several times, a bunch of times between Monday and then you flew in this morning.
Yeah.
And actually, what time did you get in today?
Got here at about 9:15, 9:20 when I landed at the airport.
Okay.
And that's when your buddy called Chris and asked me to stop by here. We was on my way back from the airport, on back.
Okay. Did he come pick you up?
I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
he picked us.
I was gonna get an Uber, but he texted me, once I turned my phone back off, airplane mode, he texted me, said, if I know when you land, I'll come pick you up. I said, yeah.
And so how do you see him on the ride? How's he doing? Is he hanging in there, or?
He's hanging in there, but he just stood on under questions on what the hell was going on there. He said, he said, I don't know if she done something. Just like I asked him, I said, are they still building houses back there behind you, apartments, where he lives at? And last time I come down there, they keep building behind him there. And I said, are they still doing construction work? And they said, yeah. So you don't think one of them construction buildings snatched her for something? So I said, I'm just thinking all different scenarios, so I'm like, you know, that.
Well, that's what you gotta do, think about any possibility. Does he have any idea, anything that he thought to you, saying, hey, maybe this happened, or, you know, did he see anybody suspicious around the house? Did he have a confrontation with anybody, any problem with a coworker? Because I guess he's a low-key guy.
Yeah, well, he's very calm, cool-blooded, and I like me. I mean, takes a lot to get me pissed off when
Yeah.
when they do it.
Yeah. So, okay, so he's not a guy who's getting into confrontations that much. He didn't mention any enemies or anything, anybody who's got a beef with him, or you know, any reason why somebody would want to get at him or get at the family, or nothing, so no threats, no, okay. No problems. And from what?
You know, the pager.
Yeah. I'm a scribble guy, so I just scribble all over the place, but I have it up here. I remember.
I think I try to have pretty good memory, but I've been in the parts business for 30-something years, so the numbers and everything else stay in my head.
And this is a general interview. I'm just trying to get a baseline. And you never know what can help.
Yeah.
Because if everybody remembers a little something, who knows?
I love that. I mean, I love grandbabies to death. I love her too, but. Well, we got along good, you know, for a few days each time. It seemed like there's always something come up that, like I said, she's all about what she wants when she wants it. Not trying to put her down or nothing like that. That's just like her personality is.
Well, and for us, it's important to know who we're dealing with, right? If we're looking for somebody, what they might have done, where they might have gone. Is there anything, do you think, from your knowledge of her, do you think she's the type of person who would hurt herself? Or hurt her children?
I would say the kids, no.
No.
When it comes down to herself, that I don't know. But to them kids, I don't think she would. I know I've profiled her, she's not doing a whole lot with the kids, but she loves the kids. And just like Chris loves them too. I love the kids, my wife, everybody loves them. But as far as her doing something to herself, I wouldn't say yay or nay. I mean, you never know what somebody gets mad.
Any health problems? Either physical or mental?
To my knowledge, she supposed to have lupus years ago, but that's more or less under control. And she had something on her spine done not too long ago. Something was,
Not sure what that is.
No, some deterioration of some vertebrae or something. She had to get done not too long ago.
Any mental issue, you're aware of her ever going to a psychiatrist, psychologist, any kind of...
No, I was told about it.
And any counseling that you were aware of? The two of them ever try to go to counseling to work out?
Something they tell Dad sometimes they don't.
That's true. That's true. I know I don't tell my parents everything. And anything else you can think of that might be useful? Is any friends that they ever talked about, or any anybody who they interact with? I mean,
Yes, but she's got a bunch of friends that way, and they always have these little parties and meetings, sometimes at their house and stuff, but Christopher's got some of his friends, I mean, like he said, he stayed with friends of his last night, because he didn't feel like going back to the house and all the stuff going on over there and stuff, so he stayed with them last night.
And were those, is those his closest friends, or who would be?
I don't really know how, what his closest friends around here are, but I ain't really met many of them when we come down. Most time when we come down, we go out to the zoo and stuff like this, and all kind of everything else around here, and splash pads and stuff like that, but we really met his friends that much. That was it.
Does Chris, because I know she's got thousands of friends on Facebook, but does Chris have, is he on Facebook? Does he do that?
He was, he just recently deleted over his tiring here and all post about negative shit, so.
Okay. And is he a social guy? Does he have a lot of friends, or not?
He has, not that many, he has a few, I mean, he gets along with anybody, not like I do, they take me out as I am,
But he's not a big social media guy, or, friends and parties and all that.
It's like, when she was gone, I think you said he went to the drag races here in town, in HRA, about there, which he ain't went to in years, like him used to go to races all the time back when he was young and stuff, like the NASCAR races, drag races and stuff, and he'd done that in years, he did that. He said, I missed that, I ain't done that in a long time.
Yeah, so he probably got some break, just being by himself.
Yeah, and seen him and a couple of buddies from work, went out there on that drag racing on that one Saturday, and come back home.
Okay. Yeah, oh, was that this Saturday?
That was last week, that was weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah. And then nobody else you can think of. I mean, he didn't ever say to your dad, this guy at work is pain in the neck, or this neighbor of mine does strange stuff, or
Not somebody make the dog one time,
Okay. And then at the construction, I want to ask you again about that. So there's construction going on behind the house.
Yeah.
Did he see anybody like?
Well, I just brought that up to him on the way back from the airport.
Oh, you brought, okay. He didn't mention
No,
anything.
he didn't, I mentioned that to him, I said, they're still doing construction work out now, because I don't know around here, construction